Good morning, trading world. It is April 20th, 2023, 7:24 a.m. on the East Coast, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the markets. This morning is going to be, I'm not going to get into too much of a diatribe. I'm going to dive right into a quick technical look at what is going on right now. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties this morning that were left over from yesterday, primarily because something happened at Thinkorswim that knocked out my RTD function and custom functions that communicate with a worksheet that helps me look at a lot of things in real time and compare things in real time. And I'm just having the biggest issue right now between Thinkorswim and Microsoft and the communication between Thinkorswim, Excel, and Word. And it is the biggest headache right now. I'm having to talk to and get bumped back and forth between the two companies. So that was my diatribe as far as what I'm going through this morning. So the weekly chart has finally taken a backseat to the daily and the monthly. The bad news is that the daily is in a topping formation near overbought zone where the MACD is flattening and momentum is dwindling. And I say bad news because it's really not bad news for me per se, because right now I am very bearish. But the actual kind of news in that is where the monthly is, basically. But on the daily chart for the moment, remember at this shifting of trend, we get these wild swings taking us all over and nowhere at the same time. As the daily becomes the chart time frame of importance, get ready to reach down deeper in pre-markets testing daily time frame supports. The monthly is in its rest area, which is really dangerous. This says we could be in this run in place mode, consolidation, for quite some time with a very large variance. This means we could chop up as far as the 420s and then as low as the 380s over the next month or two without any clarification of what the next trend direction is. So it's going to be crazy for a couple of months. And this just gives us this huge range of being able to rally up through and fade down in. I guess I could go through. I have a daily chart sitting here, and the important thing to look at is the MACD and where it is, how it is flattening out, and the momentum is dwindling. And as you can see, using the RSI, we are nearing an overbought phase of the RSI. So definitely on the daily, we're in a topping process. And in that topping process, I don't even have prices up. Let me get the prices right. So be expected, we're going to head down to test this 401, well, 407 and 401 soon, as those are major support levels on the daily chart time frame. So don't be surprised to wake up even as early as tomorrow and we're down around the 407 area. With that, let's get to the key levels of the day. All right, here we are with our key levels of the day. Starting on our resistance side, we have our jack resistance at the 412 to the 413 area. And this is going to be an area of emphasis and rejection on the day. So getting up to this area, shorts are going to be here for a while because it's going to reject at least once or twice. Some of that may happen in the pre-market. Then we have our queen resistance area, which is going to be the 414 to the 415 area. And then our king resistance area, 416 to 417 area. I don't expect to see this, don't expect us to get quite this high on the day. Then we have our jack support area, which is going to be 411 to the 410 area. Queen support area, 409 to the 408 area. And then our king support area, 407 to the 406 area, which may come into play overnight tonight. So those are areas of importance. That 414 area is pretty much where we closed yesterday, and that's going to be an area of importance later in the day, because we're going to be fighting, or probably midday, we're going to be fighting to get back to this area. So this may be where our midday chop happens. Just depending on what type of day we have. So the main thesis for today is bullish, closing above the 414 with a projected target high of between the 414 and the 417 area. The alternate thesis is bearish bias, closing below the 414 with a projected target low of between 414 and 406. The main channel we are in is between 397 and 416. Yesterday, market strengthened. Breadth open, gap down, and shortly after the open took off to the upside, non-stopping until we got back to just above the previous close on breadth. I expect strength to open, gap down, consolidate, and find a brief, maybe not very brief, but maybe a pocket of strength for today, before again showing weakness toward the end of the day that will continue overnight until pre-market tomorrow. We do have harmony between the technical side, which is bullish, and the quant side, which is also bullish. The futures have a bullish bias for the day, with harmony between the technical side, which is bullish, and the quant side, which is also bullish. Remember yesterday I said you don't want to overstay your welcome in any side of the trade over the next few days. So basically what I've been doing, I've been getting short at the end of the day, covering early morning, getting long at some point in the morning, and covering closer toward the end of the day and doing it all over again. So again, don't overstay your welcome in these trades right now. This brings us to the scenarios of the day. All right, here we are with our first and the first two scenarios, the probability is pretty much equal. But the first scenario that I'm looking at is going to be our rounded reversal day type structure, or the first scenario that I'm preparing for. We could get a continued push higher toward the Jack or Queen resistance area. If I made that chop around either the Queen or somewhere between or somewhere around the Queen resistance area before going back down with the same energy or force we went up with the first part of the day. The Queen resistance area is just above the previous close, and it's quite it's a big probability that we get to that point somewhere around the previous close and chop a good portion of the day. So this is what has us at the rounded reversal day type structure. And I think this is setting us up for a trend day fail coming into Friday. But that's the most probable scenario as we get closer to the open. This becomes the more common or the more probable scenario for the day. All right, our next scenario is going to be our trend day down day type structure, meaning we open gap down, start with a pushback toward the previous close, represented by the blue line, but we find resistance on or before that previous close. I'm thinking around this 413 area. And then we get back into the downtrend for the day. It's going to seem like an odd trend day because we did most of the action pre-market. So we're going to come down to a point where it's just us retesting lows. And then the second part of the day, we're probably going to come out and we're going to get that small head fake looking to continue that downtrend. But again, it turns into a head fake and we get kind of an odd rally going into or toward the close where we get some lift up, but as we get closer toward the close, we're going to get that weakness that threatens us back down again and kind of chop, and it just lets you know that things are weak for some reason going into the close. So that's our trend day down day type. And if we don't get it today, I think we're setting up for tomorrow what I would call a trend day fail. And basically with the trend day fail is that we're going to get to a point where we hit a target and just reverse off of. Tomorrow is probably going to look something like we come down or open into lows and we get this consolidation around the low, and then we hit a target, whether it's 407 or 406 or whatever it is, and then boom, we're going to take off for the day. But that's just what I see coming for tomorrow, what's lining up for tomorrow. Even possibly, there's a slight chance that it lines up like that today, but we still have a good ways to go before we hit what I would consider a target, which would be the weekly market makers expected move And I think that is around the 406 area down here. That's going to be the primary target that I'm looking for before we can have that powerful reversal. All right, our last scenario is going to be our expanded range day structure. We could struggle early morning as we have all week, looking for or holding at support, and then expect to find some strength that will push us back up toward the open and maybe a little beyond. So this is our expanded range day structure, and again, I feel like we're going to find weakness closer toward the end of the day that's going to signal us to be back in the same position come pre-market tomorrow. So those are the scenarios that I'm preparing for. I hope this helps. Wishing you a positive trading day. But as I always say, your most important job as a trader is protecting the capital that you already have. And we do this by knowing and understanding the risks that we have on in our positions and in the market conditions. And then we manage that risk in accordance to our account size. So again, I hope this helps. As always, wishing you a positive trading day. Let's go out and make it a great one.